We are an independent insurance agency that started about a year and a half ago. It'll be actually 2 years in June, May. Um, couldn't have couldn't have started an insurance agency without BNI BNI support. So I appreciate you guys and thank you very much for that. We actually just hit 2 million in premium, which is eclipsing what our projections were for the first 2 years. So we are well ahead of pace. We just moved into a new space in the 360 Central Towers. We have tripled in size, so now we're ready to hire. Again, it's got a lot to do with you guys and the referrals that you send, but it's a lot of hard work. I've been in insurance for 10 years, well, going on 11 years now. And I learned a lot in my old agency. I learned a lot of what to do, a lot of what not to do. And the education that I received and the certifications that I received throughout those years have helped me really understand the business a little more rather than just selling you paper. My goal is to make sure that you are insured. There's a lot of agencies out there that are just looking to churn and burn. They just want as much premium as they possibly can get. And then your policy kind of goes by the wayside. And they just hope that it automatically renews every year. It's not a terrible thing. Technically, the policy that they originally write should be a good policy. But we do know that things change. One thing that insureds don't really understand is they need to let their agent know when things change. You know, if you do an addition to your house, of course, that's going to increase the value of the home. So you got to make sure you let the agent know so they can adjust that coverage. We are in a time of craziness in the industry right now. Needless to say, it's going to get worse. There's been a lot of litigation. They said 3 years ago, the average claim was $43,000 per homeowner. That average claim is now $263,000. You're suing the insurance company when you get a lawyer and they go after the insurance company. You're suing them, which affects everybody else. The biggest problem you have is the fact whether they win or lose, that lawyer knows that they're going to get paid. So they sit there and they drag their feet. They don't have the best interest. Your interest or your whatever happens to you, they don't care. I just say it, that sounds terrible. It puts lawyers in a bad space. But what I'm trying to say is whether the claim is paid out and you're made whole again, they're still going to get their money because the insurance company has to pay them on your behalf. So the bill that Governor DeSantis put into place recently, which Callahan has discussed, it's going to help. It's going to help the industry, and it's supposed to help the industry. It's going to help all of us as insureds and the premium that we're paying out of pocket. Premiums are so high right now is because there's only 2 or 3 carriers that are willing to write business outside of Citizens. And whether their premiums are reasonable or not, they're an option. Sometimes you have to go with that higher premium, and it is in fact 3 to 4 times higher than what Citizens would be. Citizens was built to be a means of last resort. Now it's just hey, I want Citizens because they're the cheapest. So now you're having millions and millions of clients going to Citizens and they can't afford it. So it all falls back on the taxpayers and the state. So you need to be very weary of when you have a claim. Do the right thing. Insurance companies want to make you whole. That's what they're there for. They don't want to make you rich. That's what insurance was built on. And I believe in my heart the carriers that I write do care. And they want to make sure that you get back to that state. The only thing is they don't want to sit there and pad your pockets with money just because you think that they have more money than God. I work with a lot of great carriers, and I work with a lot of great adjusters. The management teams at these carriers, they do care. They're just like us. They're not out to just ruin you. If they deny a claim, they have a reason of why they're denying that claim. You can always fight them if you feel that it's not fair or if it's not covered. But a lot of the times in the policy, it most likely is not covered if they're going to deny the claim. It's illegal for them to deny a claim that doesn't have coverage. There are carriers that will kind of curve the line there to make sure that they give you coverage for that, to make sure that you do get back to that whole state. But in most cases, they will kind of fight you on that. There's a lot of instances where claims are just kind of bogus, and it's very hard for a company to turn around and say, "Hey, you're not covered for that. You need to talk to your agent." In most cases, that's what it's all about. A water claim. Over the past 5 years, we've seen more and more carriers going to limited water, meaning you only have $10,000 if you have a water loss, pipe burst, anything like that. The reason that they set that limit there is because of the history of water claims. The average water claim is $12,000, depending on when you catch it. You could be out of town. You could have a house in Old Northeast, an old bungalow, and pipe bursts, and you don't realize it for a week. All your floors are torn. If it happens on the second floor, it's going to be a lot more than that $12,000, $10,000 that the carrier is giving you. So you got to be very weary of that. There are carriers out there that will write full water. They're going to tell you that you need to replace your pipes. If the updates are a big thing with homes. So anyway, I don't want to be all negative. I do feel that we will get out of this. Rates will not go down. So you're not going to see rates going down. But what will happen is we're going to see more and more carriers coming in, which is going to add a little more competition in the rate and price there for you. The more carriers, the better. So if you are seeing carriers leaving, obviously that's a bad sign. So the one big thing that you don't always understand is just because, and I'm talking a lot about homeowners, auto rates are on the rise too. There's a lot of fraud in the auto industry right now, and the big thing is Ian caused a massive red alert for carriers. Most of the claims in Ian were flood claims, and I'm sure you've seen the pictures. Cars tumbled over, cars miles away from where they were. The insurance company has to pay those out if they have comprehensive coverage. So always remember that no matter what, there's going to be some there's going to be turmoil. Don't get me wrong there, but you can shop your insurance anytime you want. That's up to you. You don't have to wait for it to renew. So if you do see that you're getting rate increases or a carrier sending notices that they may be going out of business or anything of that nature, feel free to reach out to me, another agent. You could shop at midterm. You don't have to wait. So sorry for all the bad news, but that's what it's about. Thanks.
God. Good morning. Good morning. I guess we're waiting for that to come up. That was, I think, one of the last slides. Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. More than anything, I think time is the most important asset in the world, and you guys giving me time out of your day to speak, not only about myself, but about the company that I work for. Again, my name is John Reyes with Wow Business. So Wow is the internet service provider for all of Pinellas, competitor to Spectrum. So next. That is little me on my mom's favorite seat. You can see like we had the is that plastic, so that was the really good chair, at that point. But originally born from Brooklyn, New York, my parents came from the Dominican Republic. two siblings, two older sisters. I've been in the telecom industry for about 17 years. So it's pretty much my first sales job was in telecommunications. So always had that kind of role in my life. Basketball and books are a huge factor for me. I love those two things. And anybody that knows me a little bit more knows I'm also a real estate investor, hold a couple of properties in Cape Coral and in St. Pete. Next. So within the last 6 months, I actually accepted a new position called field sales manager. And what the field sales manager does is oversee all the business account executives throughout all of Pinellas. So what I used to do, I forgot somebody told me, I used to see you always in the street and just going to like different businesses. Well, that was my role, but now I'm overseeing everybody in that service. So we're pretty much door knockers, the guys that everybody kicks us out of the businesses. So it's one of those things of creating volume and finding good clientele. People who currently have Spectrum are usually going to be the folks that we're looking for, and people that need our services when it comes to internet. Every single person here utilizes the internet some way, shape, or form. We hope to be the one that helps you with that. Little meme humor. So how we used to block people back in the day. Again, telecom, we used to be able to do that, but now how times have changed. Been able to do that as well too. So next slide, please. Next is pretty much the services that we offer are going to be phone service. So that's a big thing. A lot of folks end up using VoIP service, which is a voice over internet. Go ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and get with you with a little bit more information on that. Pretty much you just understanding the whole aspect of it all. It's going to be pretty much services that are rent through internet. There are other options such as coax. We do service those as well too, and fiber. Next slide, please. I don't always use the internet at work, but when I do, I browse. So just another little bit of a humor on there as well too. Next slide. This just shows a couple of the different internet speeds that we offer when it comes to services. Usually what we do is we end up recommending the 300 megabits per second for the average use. Anything a little bit higher is going to be another aspect of it, but different tiers of speed of internet is what we offer. Again, using fiber is another option for the internet service as well. Next, please. My parents had a TV like this. I remember I was the remote. And I definitely was. I only had about 3 different channels, honestly. We're pretty broke. But, seeing how times have changed and how technology has evolved as well, too, says a lot as well, too. So. And also, we offer our television service. Usually, it's only going to be for our business clients. Anybody on the residential end, we honestly have to be able to service and refer that to somebody else. But that's going to be for our television service. Provide, and nowadays a lot of people are streaming. So that's kind of like the new thing where we're more involved on the internet side than we are on the television portion. At this point, we're actually losing some money doing television service. So our focus right now is really going to be for the internet for the next upcoming year for us. What separates us from the competitors are going to be our pricing compared to Spectrum. We do offer business class service with our residential clients, reliability to our response time, and consistency of speed. And see if we're able to pull that up with the no. Okay. Well, another aspect of it, there's a couple people in this room that have helped out Jeff when it comes to that commercial lore. We had that. No, it's yeah. No big deal. Like, we can't hear anything on it, but hey, man, I know we got some celebrities in here, but I'll be able to send it out to you folks as well too, just to take a look at it. But it's a commercial that we offer for all of our internet clients that they do play for 12 weeks. It's at no cost to you. So it's something that, what separates us from the competitor is going to be being able to offer a commercial for your business as well too. How can I earn money today? So the next slide is pretty much a referral program that we offer for all of our clients. We'll love to be able to service you guys with that aspect as well too. And then last but not least, I think that's it. And that's me giving a thumbs up. So another day above ground, it's a blessing. So I really appreciate you guys' time more than anything. And thank you for allowing me to be here with you today. Thank you.